today's topic is hashing. So, before going into hashing, first we should see what and all topics comes under hashing. One is hash map and one is hash set. I think most of you have heard these two words, but these two terms are usually referred when you are writing a code in Java. Same thing is said as unordered map and unordered set while you are using C++. Again, the same thing is called as dictionary and set while we are using Python. So guys, if you are learning any dedicated language in that the word comes unordered map or in that the word comes set, don't think that these and this are different things. In standard way, everyone will call hash map, everyone will call hash set while solving DSA. Okay, but usually this will be like used while writing Java. The concept is same, the algorithms are same, just the words which we say is different. Okay, so now let's see what hashing is. Okay, there are, as I said, there are two terms, hash set and hash map. First, let's see what is hash set. Okay, everyone know what is array, right guys? Everyone know what is array. So let's assume there is one data structure called set. Okay, my hand is okay. There is one data structure called set. Hash map table based implementation, a null value and key. No, okay, Himani Sharma, very good. So let us see here. Assume this is a set, and at this set, what you are doing is you are adding the value 1. When you insert the value 1, the value 1 will go and add here. Next, what we will do? We will insert the value 2. At that time, the value 2 will go and add in the set. Now, assume we are adding 1 again. At that time, 1 doesn't go in the set. This violates the rules of set. What does set means? It means all the values inside the set should be unique. Oh, is my video or audio stuck? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
I think Bhavani, you have internet issues. Okay. So guys, coming back to the set, what does set means? It is similar to arrays, but unlike array, in set there are no what do we say, duplicate values. A set is a kind of array in which we have only unique values. Okay. Why we use hash set? Why hash set is used, and why are why it is more good than arrays? Yes. If you see array, in general, if you want to add an element in an array, it will take a time complexity of O of 1. Because we know the index, we will just write add index. But if we want to search anything in an array, in general, it will take time complexity of O of n. Because to search in an array, at least we have to see all the elements in an array. I'm saying in general, not using any algorithms. And if you want to delete an array, again it will take O of n, because array is a continuous. Once you delete an element from an array, what you have to do, you have to shift the corresponding adjacent arrays into that spot. Let's not go to that part. Just think in general, array will take time complexity of O of n to delete. So when we are dealing with big problems, at that time complexity plays an important role. So instead of array, what we can use is hash set. Hash sets. What are the advantages in hash set? If you want to insert any element in the hash set, then the time complexity is O of 1, which is constant time. If you want to search an element in an hash set, then also the time complexity is O of 1. Again, if you want to delete, then also the time complexity is O of 1. So guys who are new, I am again repeating. For a few days, just cope up with my typing thing. In maybe Saturday or Sunday, teaching pad will be arrived. Okay. So what the difference between array and hash set we got to know. The main difference is in hash set there are no duplicate values. In array there can be duplicate values. One more main thing is in array the time complexity it takes in general it takes more time complexity. Hash set is more faster. Okay. Then what's the difference between hash set and hash map? The main difference is in hash set it is a single array, like single value. The size will be in single word. For example, let's consider if A is a hash set, then the elements in A will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. Okay. But in the same place, if H is a hash map, at that time the values in the array will be like 1 is equals to maybe 0, 2 is equals to 3. There's no significance why I'm getting these elements. I'm just showing you how it's done. 4 is equals to 5, like this. So the thing here is in hash map there will be a key value, key pair and a value pair. Okay, what does this means? This means when we use hash map, there will be we will create a hash table which will be having two attributes, which is key and value. What does key indicates here is key is a unique number. This cannot be same. Here you can see the example 2 and 2 has been repeated again. So this element we can't store in hash map. So if you want to know an example, real world example where it is used, just take it as an class attendance. So just take it as a roll number and this is a name. There can't be two persons BCDA and AQWS having same roll number. So this field, which is key field, should be always unique. But whereas names can be similar, there can be two Ajays in a same class. So the names can be duplicate, but this key value cannot be duplicate. That is, values can be duplicate, key cannot be duplicate. So this particular term will not come. Okay. Here we can see ABCD value is same, ABCD value is same. Then also it is a valid hash map because the key values are different. Now does everyone got little bit idea what it is? Not complete thing, just a little bit idea.
Yes.
So, okay. So guys, these hash map, hash set, these are also data structures like an array, okay, linked list. Now, let's just see how hash map, as I said, hash map, right? Key and value. Let's just see a syntax of how hash map is written in Java. I'm telling the coding language Java because in Java hash map is called hash map. That's it. So map, whoever seeing it first time, I know it's too much overwhelming and it looks too much complex, but as you practice it will get familiar, it will get easier. Okay, so what type of data we are data structure we are using? Hash map, which is map, and this is a case sensitive, so yum is capital. Then what we have to write? Key. For this particular example, let's assume these are the roll numbers and these are the names. So what we have to write here is the data type of a key. Here, as I said, this is a roll number. So the roll number 01, 02, these are all comes under which data type? which primitive data type? One, two, three. These are called what type of data types? Int. Exactly. So integer. So the first, what we have to write just after our square bracket, the first element will come is the data type of key. Now, along with comma, what we have to write? The data type of value. So the data type of value here is string. Okay, very good, Adarsh. So next, what we have to write? We have seen in Java just the before getting this, what we can do is we can just write, if you want to store an integer, then what we will do, int a is equals to new int, we will write size like 3, yeah. So si- similar to this, here what we return, we return integer, which is a data type, which is a data structure. So this whole thing indicates what? Hash map, which is this part. Now what we have to write? We have to write a name. So name, we can give anything. For now, let's just give demo. Okay, is equals to, okay, new, okay. Now what we have to write? We have to write again hash map. So this is the syntax to write hash map. And guys, who want to learn C++, Python, it's okay. You can just in Python it's very simple. For dictionary and set, you can just use square brackets, flower brackets. That's it. So simple declaration and creation of hash map. So I say you guys prefer this one only. When you are in learning stage, if you learn this thing, then it would be easier for you guys when you move to next level. And guys who want in Python, they can just use flower brackets. That's it. Okay. Now in C++, what is syntax? In C++, like there is no particular syntax to write an order map, and in C++, I don't think anyone have written this. I'm not sure about C++, guys. It will be written. It will be given in notes. Okay. As I mentioned, this bootcamp is not related to any coding languages. This is purely for algorithm. Just to understand the concept, I have written this. Okay. Now, let's see how things work. So, let's take this example itself. Now, assume this row is not there. Okay. Let me just change the thing. 6. Now, if we want to add any more elements in this, how to add? So what's the name of this map now? Let's just take, we have given the name as demo. Now, if we want to add something to it, if we want to put something to it, what's the syntax? How to write it is, we just have to write demo dot put. We have to put. What we have to put? Key and value. So first we have to write key. For example, what will come next? We will get 07 and a value BAD, anything like this. So in short term, if you want to add anything or add a new element, so show syntax 1. Syntax 1. 1 means once. Okay. This is the syntax, right? Like okay. Hash map name or just variable name. Full stop. Put is a keyword. Here you write what's the key value, key you want to put and value you want to put, close bracket and semicolon. So this is a syntax and this is a live example. This is in Java. And if you are writing in algorithm also, you will write the same thing. You will remove the semicolon. Okay. So this is just an example to add any more elements in the table. Now if you want to, what we can say, now if you want, suppose you want to check if roll number 5 or roll number 7 is there in this table or not. At that time what we have to do, demo dot contains key. In this what you have to write, the key which you want to check. Suppose I want to check 02. If I executed this line, the output will be true. Similarly, if I write the same line by changing it to 07, guess what would be the output? False. Exactly. So guys, this is a little bit kind of theory part. Just bear it, try to understand it. If you are not understanding, then also it's completely fine. When you solve 2 to 3 problems, then you can come again to this recorded class and watch this segment. Then you will understand it completely. Okay. There are 2 types of people. First type, they will first understand the theory, then they will understand the problems. And there are majority of the students who will first write problems and then they will come to theory. So as we are also providing recorded classes, either of the students can just come and watch the record which segment they want. Okay, so let's not waste for any time. First thing, to add any values or put values in a table, we will use this thing. If you want to check if the that demo contains this key or not, at that time what we will do, we will do this one. Now assume we have what we have 5. We want to know what's the value. At that time what we will write, we will write demo dot get, and so which one suppose we want 4, we will get 4. At that time what will be the output? Guys, can I guess what's the output now? Yes, ABCD. That's the value. So these are just a fundamental things which you want to know. These are not the only things which you want to know. These are just a few fundamental things which you want to know about a hash map. If you have no doubt till now, I will go to next part. Guys, shall I move to next part? Yes. Good. So, great guys. So, for me to move to next part, I want an array. And guys, I want you to answer this. Suppose this is an array. Okay. And I want to print each elements in an array. What are the lines? What's the code I used to do that? I used to do this. I just have to print. What will I use? For loop. Exactly. So we are all practiced this one thing, I less than n, I plus plus. Right guys? Only these are functions. No, these are not the only functions in the hash map. That's what I said. These are not the only things you should know. These are just a few fundamental things which by which you will get the idea. There are plenty of functions. Yeah, integer set is one of them. Okay. For loop, then what we will do? We will just print elements or print I of I and then end it. Okay. So here what this is a one approach to print the elements in an array. There is one more approach in which we will write for int I, or we will just say int num, and array value, array name, print num. Yeah, for each is also there, but I want to say this one. Okay, you'll get to know in few minutes why I want to say this one. Okay. So guys who are beginner to this and have seen this part first time, let me just iterate you both the parts. In this part what we will do, int I is equal to 0. So we are referring to an index which is 0. Then we are going inside the for loop. Here what we will do, we are printing this value by taking a reference of this index. A of 0, print the value. Again we are going to increment I will go to 1. So suppose here we have all the index value and here we have all the actual values. So in this for loop what we are doing, we are using index, we are iterating I indexes and then accessing values by using index. Okay, but in this approach what we can do is, in this approach we can eliminate the use of index. We can directly access the values. For int num colon a signifies at first iteration what it will do, num is directly is the value 1. If you print num, the value 1 will be printed. There is no concept of index in this part, in this type. Okay, if next time there is no need to increment, add I plus plus or num plus plus, nothing. It will, after completing this for loop, for next iteration it will automatically move to the next element which is 7. Now num has 7. At next iteration num has 3, next iteration num has 6, likewise num has 2, and when the array is over, it will, the for loop will stop the execution and go to the next part. So in this type, here what we are doing, we are using index and printing values by using index. In this part what we are doing, we are directly using values. This is one type which we can use the for loop, by which we can print the arrays in an elements. Okay, now why did I show you this concept? I showed you this concept because now I want to print all the elements in this hash table. Okay, so to print all the elements in this hash table, I wanted you guys to know this format. Now we are gonna use this format and replicate it for hash table. So how we can do it? What we have to do? First we have to write for loop, for, and then what we have to write? We have to write the data structure, which data type. So here what's the data type? Hash map. So to write hash map, what we have to do? Map dot entry. Just neglect this part now. I will see you later. Okay. So again, key. What's the data type of key? Integer, string, at this part what we have done, we have wrote the like this int, this part. Now what we have to write? We have to write the num. Let's just use the same variable name num. After colon, what we have written here? We have written the array name. So here what we have to write? We have to write the hashtag name, hash table name. We have given hash table name as demo, right? So let's just assume we have given the hash table name as map, or demo also fine. If you are given demo, then what we have to write? Here you can see we have written entry. So that's why we have to convert this demo into a entry set. Entry set. That's it. Entry set is a function, that's why you are using this parenthesis, and this parenthesis is a for loop. So, okay. So guys, just hold on. What we have did here, this part is equivalent to int. So can I explain entry set part? Yeah, I'm going to explain it. This part is equivalent to int. This part num I have written as it is. This part also I have written as it is. This part is equal to the name of hash table. Okay. So now we have to okay. Now what am I saying? Now what I'm gonna say? Just visualize it. Okay. Suppose this is a map integer string is a hash table. This is a hash table. Okay. Map. This part here we have integer thing. Here we have string thing. Now what we want to do? We have to iterate. To iterate, what we want to do? We want to enter. Now we want to enter the table. So for that we are writing entry. We are entering it. Just remember it as like that. Here what we have to do? We have to enter into a table. We have to convert the table into a kind of set. We have read here what is set. Hash map, hash set we have already read. So to enter individually, integer this part, string this part, what we have to convert? We have to convert this table format into a set format. Why? Because we are entering it. That's why we are converting the table. Which table? Demo table. Into what? Set. Why? Because we are entering it. Entry set. And guys, this case sensitive part, you will, what to say? Now you think how to remember it when it is capital, when it is small. There's just a trick when you are writing function name. At that time, the first letter will always be the small, following all the words will be capital. Okay. In future, we will get one more thing where we will get demo dot get or default. So in this function, we can see first letter of a function name will always be small, and following all the words, first letter will be capital. Yeah, camel case. I will say about this function also later. Okay, just remember this is one of the function. So now what we have did? We have did the difficult part of writing the first line of for loop. Now what we have to do? We have to write the print statement. Now we have to print all the elements. So here what we did? We got num. That's why we printed num. Here what does num? How to print? How to print this one? How to print this ABCD? Let's see. So what we can do? Print. So first element, first part, num. So 0 1 ABCD. Now num is here. Okay, first row 0 1 ABCD. Now we have to print this part. So what we will do? Num dot, this is key, right? Get key. Finish. By writing this line, 0 1 will be printed for first iteration. Next what will get? Num dot. Can anyone guess what we will write here? Exactly. Get value. Great guys, great guys. So who are all answering? Do you already know hashing, know these concepts, and then answering, or you are learning it for first time? Already know. Okay, okay. So guys, learning it first time. Okay. There are few people who already know, there are few people learning it for first time. So guys who are beginners, who are learning it for first time, if you have any doubt, just ask. I know this concept is very complex, very new and very different from what you have learned till now. So if you have any doubts, let it be the simplest doubt, just ask it, okay? And guys, one more thing for beginners, if you see this at the first glance, I swear you will not get how it came. Or you'll be like, will I be able to remember it while writing code? But trust me, guys, you can ask the people who already know it. By writing, by practice, you'll write it without knowing itself. Okay, so this whole part, you'll get habituated to it. Yeah, exactly. So, okay, guys, I don't want to waste more time in this for loop. So, everyone got it now? If you have any doubt, I will explain. Otherwise, I will move to next part. We also have to solve problems related to hash map. It's like, why are we converting the hash table into set in hash map? Converting hash table to set in. Like, that's the procedure, I think. Like, to print or to do calculations or operations on it, to perform operations on it. So, like, what will be printed? Okay. What will be printed? I have given you the code. After this bootcamp, you will be getting a code. So, guys, it's your homework to try and run this. At least now, a few of you have curiosity that how it will print. So, guys, that's the homework for you guys. Tomorrow, let's discuss about it. If you have any doubt about it, we can discuss in tomorrow's class. Okay, guys, shall I move to next concept?
Yes.
Okay. Object entity to work with that, we need to make it a single entity by converting the peg values into entries. Yeah, Getvik, exactly. Okay. So